Okay, we're back with David Mounts of Mounts Vineyard and Mounts Family Winery, and now we are coming to you from a Petite Sirah block. And David, tell us a little bit about this section of the property.
So this site here is one of the first blocks that was planted back in the 1960s to Petite Sirah. It's since been replanted with a trellis system. The original vines were head trained, and we always suffered a lot of issues with botrytis and rot. The fruit tend to pile on itself and each other. We've gone here to trellising on these younger vines, and we really like the results. We have a canopy that's very well separated from the fruit zone. All the clusters are individually well separated and freestanding. We get a lot of good airflow around the cluster, so the whole point is, even if we get some rain in the next few days, these clusters can recover quickly because we have good airflow. If it were a head train block like we've had in the past, a lot of that moisture just sits in there, and wind can't very well dry it out. These grapes are pretty close to being picked right now, but I just wanted to discuss the benefits of having a separated fruit zone like this.
Right, and you were talking earlier about the Zinfandel that we were at earlier is head trained.
Yes. And
the trellising here is, how would you what's the term for it?
So you have a bilateral cordon which splits off two ways, bilateral, and then these are spur positions here that we prune back to in the winter, and we have a certain number of spur positions on a cordon. And on each spur position we leave two shoots, and this system is vertical, but it's not as vertical as some of the trellises out there. We've actually put in very small cross arms that are a little wider than being tight like this, so it gives a chance for the canopy to sort of flare out in its own fashion without piling together all the shoots in a single vertical row. What this does is allow all the leaves to sit nice and open and free. These are the vine's little solar panels. So the more exposure they have to sunlight, the more they're going to work for the vine. When you pile together everything like this, leaves get trapped and aren't working for the vine so well. The little solar panels aren't functioning. So,
right. How many passes do you make through your vineyards throughout the growing season?
Well, that's a good point. I think it's been identified that some of the top producers make very many, quite a few passes throughout the season. We're really just almost glorified gardeners out here, and the more times you can go through a field and stay on top of the canopy management or the shoot positioning or the cluster separation, the better off you're going to be later in the season in August, and especially now. We're done with any canopy work. We've been done for a few weeks, but starting in April, from suckering on, we make 5-6 passes through here in a 3 or 4 month period. So it's about timing. It's about getting out here at the right moments to get things done, so you don't have problems later.
Right.
Very critical.
And that's a big operation.
Yeah.
I mean, you just said April is when you start.
Yeah. Well, we're working even backwards, but we know our ranch, we know our vineyards. We've had a crew that's been living here with us since the 1970s. They're like family to us. So we're very in tune with our vineyard. We know what's ahead of what. We just know how to line up the jobs. When you're that intimate with your vineyards, you know where you need to be when. We have a very small crew. I mean, we only run 4 or 5 guys throughout the season, but getting in, at the right time, getting it done, being very efficient, moving on to another block, and getting maybe back to that block in, say, a week or two. We do it. We get it done. It's just it's kind of a runaround, but we time it
right. Yeah, no, and it's interesting because I think a lot of people think perhaps only when the grapes are growing or there's the growing season is when there's the work, but you're year-round operation.
Year-round operation. We have our down times. It gives us a chance to get some of the little stuff done, but when the vines get going, it's go time, and it's game on. So we're always doing something. It seems keeps us busy. If not in the vineyard, then certainly in the winery as well. And we've utilized those downtimes in the vineyard to get some of the winery work done when we need to. It's a balancing act, but we get it done.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. All right. Let's head off to the winery.
Let's do that.